Hello and welcome to Diesel Railcar Simulator. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Now, this is my first impressions video of this particular title. Sometime last week, I think it was last week, I received an email from one of the developers of Diesel Railcar Simulator, or a PR person, or somebody in their team, and they said, would you like to try out this title? No obligation to making a video or anything like that. Here's a key, see what you think. And I thought, you know what? It was, first off, a very simple email, to the point, but also it was very polite and it was a key for a railway simulator. And I thought, well, I do simulation on this channel and I have done train simulators before. I may as well give it a go. So this is going to be my first impressions of Diesel Railcar Simulator. Before we start, the one thing that I have done is I started up a route on Mountain Pass just to double check my graphics and bind some controls, but aside from that I have not done anything. So let's roll the title credits and see what this title is all about. After the intro, I'll have a look at perhaps Westford's, maybe have a look at that, and talk a little bit more about what this is. As I said, I know little to nothing about this, apart from the fact that it's going to be diesel trains, the British, and I think it's based in the 1960s, maybe 70s, but all of the routes are, or the three routes that we have, are fictional. So let's get started. Let's find out what Diesel Railcar Simulator is all about. Okay, so I have started up a timetable. As you can see, we've got the default timetable. It is based on the 15th of August 1967 for Westford, and it looks like we have some fictional route with a bunch of fictional towns. So we've got Hatsford, Wade, Warno Pelham, Shorncliffe, Evertenham, Upper Suddenhoe, Aspel-Offley, New Mims, Haverfordwest, they all sound British to me, Ashwell-Rington, Caldockwell, Nastbury, Whittington, Nastbury doesn't really sound too much like it, Whittington, Clipstead, Chorley, or is that Charlie Chorley? No, it's probably Charlie and then Chorley. Astrop Chorley, okay, some of these are real. Haverfordwest is in Wales, Hatsford is near Manchester. Chorley is near Manchester. Hatford, I think, is south of Manchester. Chorley is north of Manchester. Langley is in Nottinghamshire. Little Bar, I have heard of Little Bar too. Flitwick, not Flitwick Hill, but there's definitely Flitwick. What other one? New Mims, I know there's South Mims, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, the rest of them maybe not so much. But anyway, this is the route. And then we've got a whole bunch on this timetable. Now, when I mean a whole bunch, if I just go ahead and go to the bottom of this, 340 other services on top of these services right here. Now, I do like how they do this. They've got, you can pick your various different services. You can pick whether you want express, semi-fast, stoppers, empty stock runs, a freight run, empty freight, loaded freight, different parts of the line, different class of trains. So these are British trains. So we've got, as you can see, Class 03, the Class 37, the 112, 117, 122, 126 as the trains that are available. I do know that there is a workshop on this. I haven't had a look at said workshop yet, so it's maybe interesting to see that. And then you've got duration, but thought good for video / streaming. I mean, that's a good way to have a look. So I am going to run the I've got two options here. I guess I could run let's see, I could probably run this one. Short suburban down 15. It's a stopping train, 2 cars, class 112. It's a 0615 train, should take about 21 minutes to run. So that looks like how many carriages you have, or cars. So, yep, some of these are, so we've got 6-car trains. For all of this, you've got 6-car trains. I'm assuming that an express service may have a bit more. No, they're all 6-car trains. So we've got intercity trains over there. So yes, there are plenty of runs, even runs that go, look at that. That run goes all the way down, 77 minutes. This is a pretty long route. I mean, you could be running this for nearly 2 hours on some of these. In fact, over 2 hours there, which is really impressive. So the slow stopper right there. That is a really, really impressive run. And it is a full timetable. So let me just click on... That's one. Now we have normal scenario and rescue scenario. Not really looked into which one is what. So here is the train. And now we get to select our weather at the bottom. So we've got sun or clouds. Now, I'm not sure if there is rain or anything in this. I haven't seen any of that. But perhaps there will be. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm just going to pick exactly what they have. And then it gives us some instructions about this train that I'm running. So the train is green, first off. Top speed of 70 miles per hour. Here's my timetable. So we are going to be departing Haverford at 6:15. New Mims at 6:19, departing a minute later. Then we should be at Upper Sedano at 6:26. Batfielden? Okay, I'm not sure about that. At 6:30, and then Evertenham at 6:36. I say that's Evertenham, but it could literally be just Everton, if it is. In Britain, we have some very, very strange names. For example, there is one that is spelt Godmanchester, and it's pronounced Gumster. So there you go. Stop by the 4-car signs at stations, or we're missing by the S sign, and we have gears. So I should know what these are. So we've got, 15, 27, 41 and 70, which doesn't matter. And then leave it, if we're coasting and braking, leave it in 4th until we get to about 8 miles per hour, at which point we put it into neutral. Okay, I think I can remember that. So then we could watch or drive. I'm going to drive and let that load. So let me see if I got that right again. 15, 27, 40, 70. And it's neutral up to 8 on coasting, or down from 8 to 0. And 70 down to 8 is in 4th gear. So there we go. Now, I do like this because... it's got this loading here, but if you hover over that, it says start now and load the rest of the trains and scenery while the simulation is running, which I think is a really cool thing. You can see on this image, we've got a semaphore signal, so should be a little bit interesting. I think I remember how to read semaphores. If I do not, we'll find out. I am actually going to just press start already, and then I'm going to have to figure out what controls I've set to what, which I did earlier. Oh wait, it gives you some signals here, or some tips. I can click on these. Press escape. If a simulator runs poorly or crashes, select a lower graphics. Right mouse button or key below escape, what the tilde key, to select another view. Okay. Hold. Oh, you got WASD. Okay, for moving that. Fine. You can relinquish control of the train by pressing escape and then going to watch. Oh, that's clever. Then you've got the mini maps. Signals are marked with a lollipop icon. Okay, well, let's just start already. And here we go. Everything is loading. So what do we have here in front of me? Well, this is my train. Oh, we've got a quick zoom. Left click. Right mouse button allows me to look around. And we've got a zoom on the mouse wheel. That is fine by me. Looks like that is our timer before we move. Now, I do understand that we have to start the engine. So to do that, there is a key that you put in there. And apart from that, I think there is nothing else that you can press in this cockpit, because all of these look dead. Any of this? No. No, they all look dead. It's just that little bit looked like you could fit something, and I knew a key goes into that. And then apparently you start your engine. So I have bound some engines to mine, so I'm going to go ahead and start one of the engines, and then start the second engine. Did it start? Not sure it did. Oh yeah, I guess it did. So that's these three buttons, or two buttons. You cannot press the engine to stop. Interesting. We are supposed to be moving in a moment, and I literally have no idea whether... Oh, that's the handbrake. That's down. My brake is at 100, and it's... There we go. The brake is now released. We had the... Well, you heard the... what's it called? The guard buzzer. So you can press that buzzer. It looks like it's there. Put that into forward. Put this into gear. There it is. It's in gear, and we are moving. Horn. And we are pulling away. So here we go. And that's it. We are underway. I'm not sure about what the right-hand engine, how that's... Oh, maybe that's the different cars. Car 1, Car 2 have an engine, but I'm not sure about the others. Right, I am at 10 miles per hour, so I can get rid of all of this by just pressing, I think it's F2, gets rid of the timetable, F3 gets rid of that, F1 brings up some graphic settings and some sim speed and frames per second. So that is that, but for now, I'm not used to this at all. I am going to leave this up. Lighting controls. Do we have lighting controls? No. What does that button do? Nothing. We have a green signal. I cannot see any... These would be the lighting controls, and none of them seem to be clickable. Okay. Interesting. I need to put it into the next gear. So what was this again? 15, 27, 40, 70. So I should be able to leave this... Well, I'm going to have to go up to third gear, although we are coming up to new MIMS very shortly. So let's start pushing this up a bit. That's 24 miles per hour, although I see the station right in front of me. So I may as well leave this in, unless I'm not stopping at new MIMS. No, I am stopping at new MIMS. Right. Ooh, my target speed is going down. That's good. That is pretty good. So let's get... should I get on the brakes now? I mean, I'm doing 22 miles per hour. We're stopping at apparently the 4-car stop. So I'll go ahead and get on the brakes now. There we go. I have no idea where the 4-car stop is. There it is. I see it. Or is it the S? It says 4 cars, so I'll go ahead and get on the brakes there and stop. Oh, we're slightly past where we need to be, but that's okay. We are now stopped on time at New Mims. That is astounding. Right, so I could probably bring this to running, get it ready, and I need to get this into neutral for now. So that will sit in neutral. Now, graphically from the outside, this looks okay. Interior wise, it could do with some work, but certainly outside it is a pretty decent graphic. How long do we have? We have about 30 seconds. I know there are different camera views. There we go. How do I move from these? Is it Shift and 8 allows me to do something? Ah, there we go. I looked up the camera reviews beforehand. I could zoom in and... Oh, I could also go to graphic setting and switch on depth of field. And go back, and that would give me, well, depth of field. The brakes are unrolling. There we go. And I could take a screenshot there. And, oh, that's terrible. Oh, that is a terrible... Right, I wonder if there's an option to change the depth of field. I heard that. Okay, so here we go again. Brakes released. Into first gear. And away we go. Okay, this is pretty impressive, actually. So we'll go all the way up to 15 miles per hour, bring that to idle, knock the gear up, and continue as we're going. Now, the only reason I actually know how to do this is because of driving the Class 101 before. I've driven that in, was it Train Sim World 2? I cannot remember. Right. Why do we have a 25 section coming up? So I guess I'll just idle in fourth gear, as instructed. Actually, if I put it back into second and then gives a bit of power, just to get us up to 25. Will this work? There seems to be a red signal up ahead, though. That is something that I'm going to have to get used to, is signals. Unless that signal goes green, we are going to be stuck. There's 24. That's pretty useful. Up to 25 we go, 26, 27, next gear. Okay, that is really cool. It is really cool. Outside, graphically, it does look good. It could do with some optimization. It looks like some of the field of views and things are not great. We'll go ahead to maximum throttle, getting up to about 40. And that signal looks green. I was going to say, that signal looked green ahead. So we'll go up to 40. The sounds are really good. I mean, just driving this is a very immersive experience. That I've got to give it to them. As I said, interior, this could do some work. Looks like there are no passengers yet. Oops, we're slightly speeding. Let's brake just slightly. There we go. And then up to 50 we go. Graphically outside it is really, really nicely done. It does look very realistic, very British. Shadows look good, lighting looks good. It looks like the shadows are jumping a little, so it could do with a little bit in the way of optimization there. Yes, I think there it could do with some optimization. But aside from that, outside is pretty decent. Inside, as I said, it could do with a little bit of work. We do have a 40 coming up soon, so I guess this is going to be a good test of can I slow this down in time. So I'm still accelerating very nicely, but I think I'm going to ease off now and start braking. In fact, even the target speed, and that tells me to start braking. We're going a little bit too fast here. But I think we're okay, unless that's a 30 right in front of it, which it is, and I'm actually slowing down for this. Not in emergency. Come on, stop, train. You're at maximum brakes. Oh, we were so close. In fact, we managed it. I've managed it on time. Again, call me shocked. I'm supposed to leave this in neutral for that. I mean, yes, I am quite surprised I'm managing this. Well, whilst we are here, again, just to have a look around. Graphically, as I said, the trains look okay. It looks like people are all new because they all seem to have the same pose. Sound-wise, it's okay. Lighting, there are no lights on the train. That is something that is definitely missing. Inside the train, again, it's quite basic. Sounds, as I said, the sounds are pretty decent. That could be a decent screenshot right there. Yeah, sounds are really decent. This is, you know, it does look. So could I stand here and see the train and get the train to depart? Is that something I could do? I wonder. So stand right here. Like that. Why is my throttle at 25%? Something knocked my throttle at 25%. How am I to move? I think I'm to move. So, here we go. Ooh, I've got a... So that was a follow train view I had, whatever that one was. So I could just do that, and suddenly I've got the option to take a screenshot from here. Screenshots are always good. And yes, this does look quite realistic. I'm trying to figure out how my throttle went up on that. Back to 60. Oops, wrong gear. So on my controls it's actually quite easy to knock it into the wrong gear. So I do have to be a little bit wary of that. But no, this is good. This shows promise. I know the title is an early access, so I'm not going to judge it too harshly on that. I'm certainly not going to judge it harshly on that at all. It looks like we have another station coming up very soon. But that braking wasn't too bad. Maybe I shouldn't be braking at 100%, but I've got to get used to it. Look, farmhouses on the side, or little village houses. That's pretty good as well. And I have very quickly gotten used to driving the train. This is excellent. Now it is just a matter of slowing down in time for the station, and I guess that would be experience as well. I can see the station ahead of me, so should I just coast from here is the question. I think perhaps I should, and prepare the brakes. Gentle braking from now, I think. There we go. It's kind of... yeah, I think that's okay on the brakes. Ease off just a bit. So I think what I'm supposed to do is apply the brakes, set them to lap, and then... is that how they work? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure how the brakes are meant to work, unfortunately. I'll just leave them on quite gentle at the moment. Actually, I'll ease off on the brakes entirely here. And we'll just gently come in, ease ourselves up to a stop. We are going to be late here, unfortunately, but it is not bad for my very first run. Oh, this should be in neutral, right? And there we go. We are late. But still, not bad. And then, so, right, I've got to figure out how these brakes work. So what does running releases it? I suppose the higher percentage on the running, the faster it releases. What does lapping do? Lapping appears to hold it. And service, I assume is, yes, service, it's applying it. So if I leave them, let's say, lapped at 3%, will that just hold at 34% on the brake? And I know realistically I should be looking at brake pressures and stuff, which is all of that, but I'm still learning. And here we go. Back to 60. And let's see if I can claw back some time. And once you start getting used to these controls, they are very good. For some reason, this is also quite... This is a different type of... I think this just feels like a different type of simulator. I suppose train simulators do that. They are very different in how they operate, and the kind of things that you get to do with them. There's a lot more... I wouldn't say waiting as such. There's just a lot more patience required. Yes, patience required for a train sim. Oh dear, wrong gear. I suppose that is an easy thing to do. Saying hello. Oh, we do have a 25 coming up. But I think I'm getting used to the whole idea of accelerating and decelerating. Love the flower fields, quite good. These roads on the side, no vehicles, so maybe that is something. And I have yet to see a whistle board. So that is something too. Then we've got ourselves up to speed. And as I said, I think I'm going to idle now and start preparing to brake. In fact, I think I am going to get this to braking now. Even the target is telling me to stop braking now. So I'll try and hold it around this sort of speed, or this sort of AWS caution. Bring up the brakes a little bit more. Okay, I'm starting to learn this whole idea about lapping the brakes and stuff. Yes, I'm definitely understanding this now. Good, good, good. I think I'm a little bit fast, but that's okay. I'm looking for the signal, which is actually green at the moment. Okay, well, I no longer need to... I can see the signal is green ahead. And it looks like I'm just going into a 10 mile per hour zone. So I'm just going to coast my way all the way in. Realistic buffers there, British buffers. Oh, the rail does go off the end of something. Why is that 60? What's that 60 for? Oh, it's okay. It continues back at 60 there. And we've got a 10 coming up, I think. Let's get that slowed right the way down to a 10. So ease off the brakes. And then I guess... Nope. Oh, lapping does bring in the brakes a bit. Interesting. Maybe lapping holds the brake at whatever pressure it currently is at. That is probably what lapping does. So if the brake was being released and there was still a bit of pressure in the brake pipe, maybe it would do that? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure at all. Stick that into neutral, as I should. And we're going to take the train right to the end. I'll get it slowing down pretty slowly. Keep it down to the end. Just knock it into gear to move it a little bit. There we go. And we are a minute late here because we were just easing our way in to the buffers. Press button 14 to complete run. I don't know what button 14 is. I'm just going to press any random button. That wasn't button 14. Button 14. I go to... Okay, escape. There we go. Oh, and then we have our analysis. So, limit, target, your speed. Oh, that's nice. That shows those two are late. Tutorial penalties, so you get penalties for various different things, I guess. So maybe target speed could be switched off. I don't need that. What I need is to know how far things are. One of the things I've noticed already on that was that I did not have distances on the route map. So on that route mini-map, there didn't seem to be any distances. That is probably something that would be handy. So you could get rid of target speed and just have distances to where you need to be. Station stopping time. -2. Oh, you could even time that or listen for the guard. That would be interesting. Speed limit exceeded 14 times, recorded every 2 seconds, right? Maximum comfortable acceleration exceeded. Brake or accelerated too hard. 4 times. Well, it's not too bad. Expected energy use, 156 megajoules. And your energy use was 84%. So I only used 84% of the energy that was expected. great. And then I could continue watching if I wanted to, or just go ahead and close. That is not bad. That is not bad. So what do I think? What do I think of this so far? Oh, and it gives you a little score right there. Lovely. So I could do all of these. So far for this first impressions, my thoughts on this are, it does have quite a detailed, it looks like it has quite a detailed physics simulation, the way that the train was moving, the noises it was making, the way it accelerated and things like that. It did seem to have quite a good physics simulation. What it could really do with is visuals. Now, outside visuals, as I said, are okay, but interior in the train, I think could do with some improvement. Aside from that, it is a train simulator. It is highly detailed so far. Oh, lighting. I didn't see any way of controlling lighting. That is a must. You have to have lighting controls. But in terms of engine simulation, it seemed to be fairly realistic. Suspension simulation seemed to be fairly realistic. The stations, the map in general seems quite British. I would believe that is a realistic British map. So on that, they're certainly well done. And I think I'm going to play a bit more of this. There are so many runs I could do. So I think I may start running a lot of these. I could literally run every single one of these, and that would take, I mean, I guess some of them are probably similar. So yeah, rural up 8 and rural down 3. So you've got an up and a down, but then you could go, I suppose, and there's rural up 11, which would be the same as rural up 8, for example. So maybe I could just go, right, I've done a suburban down. Now I need to do a suburban up. I'll do an urban up. I'll do a semi-fast down, a rural up. So we've got two. So we've got a semi-fast up, depot run. Yeah. So I think I might do that. So if you want to see more of these, please do let me know in the comments box. And of course there are the other maps as well, and the workshop to have a look at. And I just want to see how this title progresses, because it does have a lot of potential. I think there is a lot of potential in this title. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to the developers for supplying me a key. And I certainly will be making more videos on this for a little while. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, click on that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Diesel Railcar Simulator. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you can do so at www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated. It would really, really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media at ECGadgetLB for both Instagram and Twitter. Lastly, do go check out my Discord server. Link to that is also in the description box below. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Diesel Railcar Simulator.